Hey, hello, Gervais here. You might know me from... who am I kidding? You don't know me. You might remember me after this video. Because today, we're going to talk about New World. New World, you may ask? Well, let me get you from underneath your rock and let me explain what's going on in the gaming world at the moment. So I'm guessing you know Jeff, right?
My name is Jeff.
No, not that Jeff, the other Jeff. Yes, this Jeff. Jeff from Amazon, the big company that sends packages all over the world. That guy that's flying in his spaceship right now? That Jeff, yes. So as you might know, Jeff owns Twitch, the biggest gaming platform out there at the moment. So what do you do if you have a big gaming streaming company? Well, you make your own game studio called Amazon Game Studios. Catchy, right? Yeah, I know. So what are the people of Amazon Game Studios doing now that Jeff is out of space? First of all, they can go to the bathroom without having the boss saying, yo, you gotta piss in a bottle. Second of all, they made a game called New World. And the New World beta was out and I played it. I played about 20 hours of the game. I leveled up to level 20. And I want to tell you guys how I feel about this beta. Now, before we start, I gotta give you a little bit of a disclaimer. I did not play any endgame content. I did not participate in any PvP in the game. Why not, you may ask? Well, I didn't have the time and I'm not that good at video games. What I did do though was level up, check the crafting, check the combat, check the visuals, etc. And that's what we're gonna talk about right now. Before we do that, we have to talk about the timeline of the game. Why, you may ask, put a timeline in a video that's about impressions and thoughts about the beta? Well, it comes back in the video later. Stay with me here. In September 2016, Amazon Game Studios revealed its first 3 PC games: Breakaway, Crucible, and New World. As you might know, Crucible failed. Didn't get there, stopped working, they took it down completely. Breakaway, I never even heard of the game. But we still have New World, and New World is going to be the game that Amazon is going to focus their time and effort on. Now, to say that Amazon did not know what they were going to do with the game is a bit of an understatement. They started out developing this game as a purely PvP-focused game. Well, that didn't work out because everybody and their mother would play this game because it's hyped up and it's a new MMO. And you couldn't really relax, play a game casually when you're done with work. Nope, you would get ganked to the bone. So what did Amazon do? They decided, well, maybe not go full PvP. Let's go a bit more into the survival kind of games. And that didn't work out because, well, you can make an MMO, but an MMO is not a survival game. But what you do see in the finished product, well, at least a semi-finished product, is that the flow over of the whole survival game and the PvP-focused game is definitely in there. You can see some salt-based sprinkling of the different type of directions this game took in this final product. Now, you might be wondering, Gervais, would you recommend New World for the current price? Yes, I would. But there are a few points of interest that do make me doubt about the longevity of the game, and my, so to say, pay-to-win senses are tingling. The developers have stated on their blog post that quality of life in-store items will not be available until 2022 at the earliest. Let's talk about what I like first. The game looks absolutely beautiful. The colors are vibrant and you can see this is a new MMORPG in a world where a lot of already existing games have been owning the playing field for a while. Because of the whole story around the graphics cards overheating, I did decide to cap my frames at a limit of 60 FPS. Because of doing this, I experienced no actual skipping of frames, but did get some weird graphical glitches during some specific actions, looking upward while climbing stairs, or moving while placing down a camping spot, which makes a character kind of rubber band, and it looks like you have massive lag. This being said, I do live in the EU and played on a US East server, as that's where my friends play. For me, that specific server had a ping of about 150 till 170, so that could cause that issue. I think the graphic style of this game is a big plus. It seems like they have struck a nice middle ground between a nice realistic look, but not so realistic that it will outdate all too fast over time. The game is very new player friendly. New World has a very natural way of learning new players and also already existing MMORPG players on how to play the game. There's just enough hand holding to teach you the basics, and as soon as you have the basics down, they will let you go. There is no stupid like pop-ups with different tutorials in your face. It's all taught by just playing the game. Another big part of the game is exploration. The game heavily emphasizes to explore, go out there and see what you can find. The map isn't extremely big, but I did hear that the map is going to get some more zones when the game actually releases. The heavy focus on the whole exploration part is because you have a lot of landmarks. The landmarks can hold fast travel points. There's nodes everywhere for crafting materials, and you get sent around the world by just questing. Well, at least around the zone just by questing. Because of the landmarks and all the crafting nodes that you can find, you can get very easily lost in this world while playing. You can go from point A to point B and just get lost because you see a node over there, you see an animal over there that you want to skin. Oh, you see another landmark somewhere. Oh, you might as well just pick that up. Well, you get XP for everything you do in this game. And you might already have heard the word before. Crafting. I love the crafting system in this game. Everything can be picked up and everything can be used in crafting. Refining stuff or broken down parts that can be crafted into other items. Also, crafting is fairly fast. You can select how many of the items you want and it will just automatically stack it without showing a progress bar like, for example, in World of Warcraft. The crafting stations are placed conveniently around one big square and have a very visible distinction in them, so you immediately see what crafting station is used for what. There are some down points on crafting too, but I will come back to that a bit later. Regarding the combat, I mostly like the combat system. The skill-based action combat feels pretty responsive, and the enemy combat patterns fit perfectly with it. I would, however, like to point out that the animation cancelling is not a thing in New World. Once you press your button, you will have to commit to the attack. Some say that is, well, a part of a skill. You have to learn how to read your enemy, know what kind of attack patterns they have. But on the other side, well, I prefer skill, like animation cancelling in games. That's just a personal thing. As a melee class, this is not a huge problem. As a caster, though, it can make a cast AoE completely miss. Either making an animation cancelling a thing, or make the AoE attack mobile. Making animation cancelling and some other attacks mobile will help a lot in PvP too. Just imagine baiting an attack by pressing an attack, cancel it, and bait a dodge from your opponent. Another thing I would like to see is more buttons to press. Currently we have 6 buttons per weapon, so you have the regular attack, strong attack, block, and 3 skills. For me personally, that is not enough. Either make more weapons or more skills that you actually have more buttons to press or stuff that you can swap out. For me, currently playing with 6 buttons in total makes it kind of boring after a while. Like I said, I didn't play any of the endgame or PvP, so I don't know how it matches up when you do higher tier combat or higher tier gameplay. This whole combat talk actually fills in very nicely with skill tree. Currently you have 2 specializations per weapon. There's not a huge amount of weapons, there's enough, but just having 2 specializations makes it that you don't really have a customizable fighting style, just say it like that. You can go full on range, you can go full on melee, you can combine those 2, but it's not like you have a lot of choice in them. You have 3 skills per skill tree, as I've seen so far. Maybe when you reach a higher level, you can actually expand on that skill tree, but currently it's very, very small. Alright, enough complaining about the whole combat thing. Let's talk about questing. The questing in this game feels really good. You have a decent variety of options to pick up quests. You have your townsfolk, you have your town board, you have your faction quest giver, your faction board. What I did notice a little bit about the questing is they're all the same. It's either kill X amount of enemies, skin X amount of beasts, pick up X amount of crafting gear, or craft X amount of stuff. There's not a lot of variety in there. Maybe that changes while you level up, when you get to the more endgame stuff, but as leveling goes, it's the same thing over and over again. The enemy types as well, they all look the same. They're all just a reskin, especially like in the beginning zones. You have your regular pirates, you have your other type of pirates, and they just have a different color of glow on them. But other than that, they're exactly the same enemy type. For a company as big as Amazon, I would have thought they would be able to make more different types of enemies. That being said, the questing does feel very good and well paced. It sends you all over the map, so there's no complaints there. The last 2 things for me that could be improved on are the animations. Yes, the animations. Some of the animations looks really cool, really insane, and some of them don't look as powerful as I would like them to be. Here we go again with magic. You have the flamethrower skill. It looks absolutely beautiful. The AoE attack, though, does really not impress me. As a fire mage, I would love to see some more fire when doing an AoE attack. Same goes for the regular and strong attacks. Fire should be powerful and it has to look the part. It's a minor thing, but some of the animations could be worked on a little bit better. And the last thing for me is weapons. There's a wide variety of weapons in the game, mostly melee weapons. As a caster in other MMOs, I prefer playing a caster. There's currently 3 magics, things you can do. You can either go ice, fire, or healer. I know that there's gems that offer void damage, maybe make a void type of weapon or a void type of class, possibly add a summoning class or something like that. That would be cool. That would give the magic players a bit more variety in what they can choose. And of course, with every release of a new MMO comes worries. And I do have some worries about New World in this case. Let's start out with the big one, pay to win. There are some red flags everywhere, and even though Amazon Game Studios would not put in quality of life stuff in the cash shop until 2022, the name does say enough. I've played enough MMOs in my time to know that the quality of life options usually mean XP boosts and that kind of stuff. What I've noticed is that you can respec for free in the beta, but I can imagine it's going to require a potion or some kind of regent or something like that they will sell in the cash shop. Also, if you fast travel in this game, you will need a specific resource, which you will get by doing quests. These resources will probably be offered in the cash shop as well, which makes traveling in the map, in the game, a lot easier if you just pay money for it. The thing with MMOs is that you will need a steady flow of income to keep developing your game and push out new content. Currently, if you make it just cosmetic, they will not cut it. They could, however, go with a battle pass kind of idea. Like, for example, I hate to say it, I really do, but for example, Fortnite. Fortnite makes a lot of money out of the battle pass and just offers purely cosmetic items. If they can make the cosmetic items in a battle pass better than the stuff they have in the regular cash shop, better than the stuff that you can get in the game, then that might be profitable. Still, I'm kind of worried about what the cash shop is going to be, what they're going to offer. Let's hope that they will actually keep their promise and keep quality of life stuff out until 2022. Another thing I'm really worried about is the end game. MMORPGs stand or fail on the end game. As I told before, this game has gone through a lot of changes during the development, and I have played a lot of MMOs that looked really promising, but eventually did not have enough content when the game released. I haven't played any of the end game content yet, but I can imagine switching the type of game they were going for would make it hard for Amazon Game Studios to figure out which direction they want to go with it. As running a character that is still leveling up, I can see a lot of PvP-focused endgame going on. Sadly, not all players enjoy PvP, and when the game launches, I can imagine that a lot of people will play the game and will push for max level like in days, maybe even weeks. When the game actually launches, they will need the endgame to provide content for those players. Not everyone plays the game casually. A lot of people play these games hardcore. If there's not enough endgame on launch, people will stop playing this game and move over to another game. Even though I have criticized this game a lot in this video, I will still say I want this game to thrive because I'm really enjoying this game. Now, the last thing I want to touch about is the chase. You might be wondering, what is the chase? Well, the chase is something that other MMOs do offer. Hear me out here, okay? I am a hoarder when it comes down to MMORPGs. At some point, you will want to start going after endgame gear. Seeing the crafting is the way it is, most endgame gear can be crafted. And with a heavy focus on crafting, I wonder if there's enough drops to let people actually grind out specific items of gear, as gear drops a lot less in this MMO compared to other MMOs. Next to the gear, what else is there to chase? Well, you could go for achievements, but normally you would have mounts. But Amazon Game Studios kind of let us know that they will not have mounts in the game, as it would affect PvP gameplay too much. So pets would be an alternative option, right? Well, no, there's no pets in the game. Do you start to get my point? What will people grind for when they have all the gear they need and have finished all the endgame content that they want? Raids, PvP, etc. I would love to see some more grindable, quotation mark, cosmetics. Because if there is no grind at the end of the game to go for, people will stop playing and start playing different games. So with all my complaining out of the way and me doing my story, telling you how I feel about this game, to summarize it all, do I like the game? Absolutely. Do I feel the game needs some changes? Absolutely. Am I worried about the future of the game? Absolutely. The way I look at it, 1 hour of gameplay equals €1. Yes, I'm from Europe. With a price range of €40, will I get 40 hours of gameplay out of it? Well, yes. easily. I will play the hell out of this game when it releases, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, if you like this video, please consider dropping a like, dropping a comment, dropping a sub, even clicking the notification bell so you can see when I upload a new video. I will be trying to cover this game more extensively when the game actually relaunches, and I hope to see you guys when I'm live on Twitch playing this game or any other games. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.